The ocean breeze wasn't the only thing making waves during the Swim music video shoot. While the cameras were rolling on the deck of a luxury yacht, fans caught a glimpse of something even more captivating than the scenery. Taehyung and Jungkook seemed to forget the crew was even there, sharing intimate, unscripted moments that have the entire fandom buzzing. Is this just professional chemistry? Or did the romantic atmosphere of the open sea bring out something more? Get ready, because these exclusive behind-the-scenes clips of Taekook are about to leave you breathless. Watch the continuation of this video and don't miss it. Before we start, make sure you're ready to love this moments. Welcome to Vkook. The atmosphere on the music video set that day felt strikingly contrasting. Amid the bustle of crew members busy arranging underwater lighting and the crashing of artificial waves, Taehyung and Jungkook seemed to exist in their own world. Dressed in thin white linen shirts that were already soaked through, Taehyung stood at the edge of the deep studio pool, gazing at the reflection of blue neon lights on the water's surface. He looked calm, though he occasionally shivered slightly as the wind from a large fan hit him. Not long after, Jungkook approached with a towel draped over his shoulder, gently nudging Taehyung's arm while offering the remaining warm drink he was holding. The silence broke when the director gave instructions for the next diving scene. Jungkook, who naturally enjoys physical challenges, was the first to jump into the water with a smooth motion that barely created a ripple. Beneath the surface, he looked like a fish, moving gracefully with his eyes open as if gravity didn't exist. From above, Taehyung watched with a faint, proud smile. When it was his turn, he didn't dive immediately. Instead, he sat at the pool's edge for a moment, letting his feet sway in the cold water, trying to synchronize his breathing with the rhythm of the song playing through the set speakers. When they were finally in the water together for the main scene, time seemed to slow down. Through the underwater camera lens, their silhouettes met in the dim blue-green light. They had to hold their breath while conveying deep emotion, a silent dance where their hands almost touched, but were always separated by the current. Between takes, when they surfaced for air, they would look at each other and burst into laughter just from seeing each other's hair sticking amusingly to their foreheads. There was no tension, only genuine comfort between two friends who understood each other's body language without needing a single word. Toward the end of the exhausting shoot, they sat side by side under a warm shower to rinse off the chlorine. With their shoulders leaning against each other, Jungkook briefly rested his head on Taehyung's shoulder, while Taehyung gently patted Jungkook's back as a sign that they had done a good job. Behind the visual grandeur of the Swim music video that the world would eventually see, it was these small moments filled with laughter and shared chills behind the scenes that felt far more real to them. The morning sun at the studio's artificial harbor reflected a dazzling silver light, matching the crisp white uniforms worn by all 7 BTS members. They transformed into a charismatic ship crew, complete with gold button details gleaming under the filming lights. Jean and RM appeared busy discussing positions on the wooden deck, while J-Hope occasionally broke the tension with small dance moves. In the middle of the crowd, Taehyung and Jungkook stood side by side, standing out with their calm yet intense aura. Suga, leaning against the ship's railing, occasionally made playful remarks about how seriously Taehyung embodied his role as captain. With the captain's hat tilted slightly on his head, Taehyung looked authoritative, yet his gaze never truly strayed from Jungkook. Meanwhile, Jungkook, dressed in a sailor outfit with a wide collar, couldn't stop smiling. He stayed close to Taehyung, occasionally adjusting the captain's tie even though it had been perfectly in place from the start. Their closeness became even more apparent when the cameras weren't rolling. In one behind-the-scenes moment, Taehyung casually wrapped his arm around Jungkook's shoulder, pulling him closer to whisper something that made Jungkook laugh until his eyes crinkled. Watching from afar, Jimin could only shake his head with a knowing smile, already used to how inseparable the two youngest members were whenever they were on the same set. As the group scene began, all members gathered in front of the grand ship helm, as if they were sailing across a vast ocean toward the blue horizon. However, the camera crew's focus often shifted to how Taehyung and Jungkook's hands seemed to find each other behind the ship props. Sometimes Taehyung would gently hold Jungkook's fingers when they had to stand close, a small gesture showing the strong emotional support they shared during the exhausting shoot. When it came to the scene where Taehyung had to give instructions as captain, the atmosphere turned slightly more romantic. Between takes, Taehyung used his captain's hat to cover both his and Jungkook's faces while they joked around, as if creating a small private space amid the busy crew. Jungkook didn't stay still either. He boldly wrapped an arm around Taehyung's waist, resting his chin on his shoulder while carefully watching the monitor. Other members like RM and Jeon occasionally joined in their jokes, but the atmosphere between Taehyung and Jungkook remained on a different frequency. In one scene where they had to stand at the edge of the ship like a classic romantic movie moment, even though the instruction was simply to exchange meaningful gazes, Taehyung added a sweet touch by tucking a strand of Jungkook's hair behind his ear, an improvisation the director decided to keep in the final cut. The artistic tension of the song Swim became even more intense as artificial fog began to cover the deck. In the midst of it, Jungkook appeared very protective, constantly holding onto Taehyung's arm to prevent him from slipping on the wet deck floor. Their affection didn't feel staged for the camera. It flowed naturally as a form of genuine care. Every time cut was called, they didn't immediately move apart but remained close, sharing soft laughter. By late afternoon, as they changed outfits for the final scene, Taehyung was seen wearing a suit. Online, behind-the-scenes clips quickly exploded into a hot topic among ARMY, known for their sharp attention to detail. Fans seemed to have eagle eyes, catching every movement of Taehyung and Jungkook in the corners of the screen, even when the camera was supposed to focus on other members. Social media was instantly flooded with slowed-down reposts showing Taehyung's long fingers gently brushing the back of Jungkook's hand when they thought the camera wasn't on them. Many ARMY admitted they couldn't focus or got distracted by how intense their interactions were amid the busy ship set. Instead of watching the grand choreography, fans found themselves drawn to moments like Jungkook adjusting Taehyung's collar with a protective gesture. For fans, Jungkook's gaze that never left Taehyung no longer felt like professional acting, but rather a manifestation of affection that was hard to hide. Comment sections across platforms were filled with jokes claiming that the Swim music video was actually a documented date disguised as professional work. ARMY highlighted how Taehyung constantly searched for Jungkook whenever the director called cut. One viral clip showed Taehyung naturally pulling Jungkook closer by the waist while listening to instructions, an action fans saw as proof of how comfortable they were in their own little world. Fans were further amused by the contrast with other BTS members. While RM and Suga seriously discussed artistic concepts, in the background Taehyung could be seen playing with Jungkook's hair or resting his chin on the Magne's shoulder. Fans joked that the other members had become mosquitoes, silent witnesses already used to the pair acting like they were on a date in the middle of a filming set. ARMY also noticed small details like Jungkook handing his water bottle to Taehyung without being asked, a wordless understanding shared only by those who are very close. Screenshots circulated of Taehyung giving his signature boxy smile only when looking at Jungkook. The atmosphere around them felt sweet and exclusive, as if the entire ship set was merely a backdrop for their own romance. Some fans even created compilation videos titled TAEKOOK in their own world, gathering every physical touch and whispered moment during the swim shoot. ARMY felt that their presence gave each other strength to endure hours in cold water. The love and support radiating through fan screens made them feel part of the happiness shared by their idols. The distraction reactions also focused on the iconic moment when Taehyung wore his captain's hat. ARMY noticed how Jungkook looked proud and mesmerized, often giving thumbs up or simply staring. Taehyung's responses, ruffling Jungkook's hair or playfully pinching his cheek, sent fans into a frenzy, filling timelines with sweet theories about their deep bond formed over the years. This excitement proves that for ARMY, even the smallest detail of Taehyung and Jungkook's interaction is a treasure. They don't just see two idols working, but two souls complementing each other, unafraid to show affection even under studio lights. Every laugh and brief embrace behind the scenes becomes endless discussion, reinforcing the idea that Swim is not just about a song, but about their emotional journey together. In the end, this behind-the-scenes video becomes a beautiful gift for ARMY who long for genuine and warm interactions. Seeing Taehyung and Jungkook seemingly inseparable, even amid the demands of global stardom, brings warmth to fans' hearts. ARMY agrees that their courage to remain themselves and show sincere affection is why the TAEKOOK connection will always hold a special place in the hearts of those who witness it. Leave your positive comments here. The best comment will be pinned as a way to honor their love. Thank you to everyone who continues to support this channel. May God reward all of your kindness. This video reflects my personal opinion and interpretation. It is made for entertainment purposes only and does not represent confirmed facts.